Alright guys, welcome back to MMAUnhinged. Today we are joined by Darrick Minner. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, it's going, man. Just chilling, watching my brother struggle on this weight cut a little bit.
So his brother is fighting tomorrow night. Do you want to give us some more information about how we can watch that, maybe finding the result of that fight?
Yeah, man. It's Dynasty Combat Sports in Syracuse, Nebraska. It's actually just a little event I'm throwing tomorrow. Me and my manager. Yeah, we're just we got a bunch of local guys. This one usually they're on Fight.tv, but this one is not because it's a little show, you know.
So you put up the event, so you hold the event.
Yeah, this one I hold my manager holds events. He probably does 8, 9 a year, and I help him and co promote probably three of them.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll get onto your career. So it took you 30 fights to land a shot in the Contender Series, but you lost that fight unfortunately, but you still never gave up. You strung 2 fights on the regional scene, then you came back to the UFC and lost your debut. But that still didn't won the fight by guillotine against a really highly talented fighter in TJ Laramie. How did that feel to finally get your hand raised in the UFC?
Yeah, man, it was a big sense of relief, you know. I'm super stoked, super happy, but it was real big relief after, putting your heart, soul, everything that you do with your life into one goal, and that's to get to the UFC originally, and then also to win fights, Now I feel like a little weight slipped off your shoulder. I got the win, but that's the thing. Like now, I can make my impact for real after getting the win. At first you're just trying. You got to get that win. You got to get that satisfaction out of the way of getting a victory, and especially on the big stage, man. I came up short twice in front of the bosses. You know what I mean? And you just don't ever know. Like leading up this fight, you just don't know. You don't know what happens if you drop it. You got a little bit of doubt, but I always have known that I belong in the UFC and that I can make an impact, whether it's from who I train with, how I do against guys, and how I control fights against guys that are in the UFC. So yeah, man, just a big sense of relief finally.
So was the dream still alive when you lost to Herbert Bones in Contender Series? Do you believe that you could have got to the UFC and still make it, as you did?
When I lost to Herbert Burns, like I kind of like went into a depression a little bit, like not like a serious like crazy, just like a career depression. I didn't know what was gonna happen, I kind of was talking to my manager, like, what do we do? Like, do I ever get a shot again in the UFC? And he's like, man, let's give it one more year. Let's see what happens in one more year. Just bust your ass for one more year. And so we got a short notice, not a short notice. It was like right after that. That was in August, and then I got a call to fight Terrence McKinney in a headlining event out in middle of Nebraska. They throw a pretty good event a couple times a year, and they wanted a highly high event, like a big main event. And so for me and Terrence both of us coming off the Contender Series, that was good. And so I was like, screw it, let's do it. And then I choked him out pretty quick. And yeah, man, the dream was definitely after that. It's like, man, I do belong here. Let's keep it rolling. And then got the short notice call against Grant Dawson, and it was the greatest call of my life probably.
So what was the biggest challenge in your career throughout the whole career of yours?
Oh, that was oh man, I could give you a list of. We'd be here all day, man. We'd be here all day. But biggest challenge is just like, I don't know, man. It's always just when you lose a fight to pick up the pieces. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest thing. Like when you lose a fight, that like for me, like you can go back and look at my record, and you can go to all my LFA fights that I had lost, or any fight that I really have lost my whole career, and I was winning the whole fight, all until the moment I would get caught, or all until the moment I would get tired. And then that's what was the biggest thing, is like, why are you losing to these dudes when you're better than these guys? You know what I mean? And so just bouncing back after losses. Thankfully, I have a good ass manager that throws a show and that that we kept getting good fights to get that record up, you know. And he threw a local show, and thankfully I sell a lot of tickets and have a lot of support behind me that I was able to keep on fighting and rack up a bunch of fights.
So talking about after the loss against Herbert Bones, and you said you were in a bad state of mind. While we're on that kind of subject, was there ever been a point in your career that you thought, I'm not going to make it to the UFC? You kind of said that earlier, that you said you're going to give it one more year. But was there a point that you thought, no, this is it, I can't do it?
Yeah, man. Like, that was when I lost against him. It was kind of like I had people like, man, you did really good. Like, that's what they want. They want you to go out there and swing and throw down. And probably that's probably why I ended up getting to the UFC, is because of my style. And I like to come and I like to throw the firefight. But, yeah, man, dude, there's been a few times that I was like, man, you know, like I said, I was really like, didn't think I was ever going to make it. And, you know, then you pick up a couple wins and you get that fire back and you're like ready to go. And then the call came.
In your last fight, you did beat TJ Laramie by guillotine. Was that the plan heading into the fight, to take him to the ground and finish him?
Nah, man. I started working with James Krause this fight camp, and we didn't really have a game plan. James just told me, you know, what I solidified what I already know, and that's like, you could beat these guys anywhere. And it was just getting in the routine, and like, we didn't have no specific game plan. I felt like I was better everywhere, and so just going in, I knew that eventually, like, we knew that he couldn't help himself once I started throwing, that he was going to shoot. You know, it's a wrestler's instinct. Once you get cracked and you realize the guy has power, you're like, oh shit, and go in a little bit of panic mode. And so when he did shoot in, I mean, you're in trouble, you know. And the kid has good top pressure, and he has good submission defense from what we've seen on tape. So that wasn't really the game plan. The game plan was just go in there and fight my fight, and I would come out victorious.
Also, that night you earned your 22nd submission win in your whole career. How does that feel, that, you know, when you go in there with someone who's looking at your career and saying that you've got 22 submission wins out your 25 wins? That's something they're going to be looking at straight away, and they know how good you are on the ground. Is that where you try and work on every fight, trying to take them to the ground, because you'll probably think that you're superior to everyone that you come up against?
Man, that's the craziest part. You know, I look back and I'm like, man, that is a lot of submissions. But for me, like, to think about it, I'm like, man, that's not very much. And then you look at these guys that have, you know, they're like pumping up their 5 submission wins or whatever, you know. And no, I don't necessarily go in there thinking, okay, let's get to this ground, because, you know, it's an MMA fight. I'm not trying to force anything, but in the transitions is where I feel like I'm best at, you know, like taking it from the ground, taking my shots, you know, picking and in the transition. So, like, as long as I feel like the fight is moving in an MMA aspects, I feel like I can eventually catch somebody, whether, you know, it's a submission or whatever.
73.2.
What?
73.2.
73.2? All right, perfect. Yeah, I mean, I would just go in there like that. Just get,
73.2.
So sorry about that.
How long has he got left? I don't deal in kg, I deal in pounds.
2 more pounds. So
2 more pounds, yeah.
He's got, yep. So he'll probably be about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So
is he gonna sit that off maybe?
Weigh-ins are at 6, so we're gonna get Friday, yeah. We'll get a pound and a half off, and then he'll float the rest probably. So
yeah. So how long has he got left until he's got weigh in?
4 hours.
4 hours. That should be good then.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's good. He was definitely happy to see that number, I think.
So we'll go back to you. So what kind of runs through your head when you're in these transitions and you're trying to get into a perfect transition to get one over your opponent?
I just keep throwing stuff up, man. Like, that's the thing. Like, I just don't stop moving. I don't stop throwing up submissions. I don't stop, you know, and I think that's the biggest thing is, like, I might miss the first 2 or 3, but I'm going to get you on the 4th or the 5th. And I think it's worked out for me so far, you know, and, like, I think people don't really understand, because, like, I'm not belted. I'm not, like, a high touted, you know, black belt or whatever. So I don't think people understand until, like, I actually grabbed them. And, like, I think that's what TJ thought, like, when he shot in, that he was just going to be able to take me down. But, like, and he underestimated because he kept pumping me up. But, like, at some point I knew I had it, you know, within a few seconds of locking it up. And I think a lot of people underestimate those things.
Most importantly, what ran through your head when you had that guillotine choke in? Did you think, I'm finally going to get the win here in the UFC?
Man, like if you look at the video, right, when he jacks me up and I throw my leg over, I looked at my corner and I stuck my tongue out and winked at him. Because I knew I had it, you know, and that was the thing. Like I stuck my tongue out and I winked at him, and when I jumped for it, all I think I remember was like, he's gonna fucking tap. Like I'm about to get my first UFC win. But I knew it was over. I knew I was gonna get it as soon as I jumped it. Like, and that was the biggest thing we worked on in fight camp was, for me, being with a new camp, was just not go to black and white movements and just fight my fight, but fight it and slow it down. And that's what I did. And because normally I would have, like you seen in the Grant Dawson fight, I'm just jumping on it. I'm jumping on guillotines. I'm jumping on whatever's there, you know. And so it slowed down a lot. And so that was good because I knew I had it before we even touched the ground, and before it's just like a guessing game. So yeah, it's definitely good.
And so did you feel kind of more composed in there? As you said there, you were rushing things in your previous fights. Did you feel more composed when you slow things down and kind of put it in slow motion for yourself?
Yeah, man. It was like this fight, for some reason, like everything was seen, everything was remembered, and I felt so composed. I've never been so calm in my life, which is crazy leading up to, you know, only my second UFC fight. But yeah, I was in the back kind of like, man, why am I so calm? What's going on, you know? So it was kind of weird. It was weird for me. I was in a super good place mentally, and yeah, man, it was good. I owe that a lot to my new camp down in Kansas City with James Krause.
What runs through your head at the moment of loss when you're about to walk out to battle? What runs through your head when you're about to make that walk?
I'm pretty sure I just was like, this kid's in for a bad day. I think that's what I said. That's all I said. That's all I kept saying. I was like, he done messed up, you know, like that's all I remember. Like I was super clear headed. I was super like calm. I couldn't I couldn't wait to get in there. And all I remember thinking was, man, he done messed up. Like he's about to get fucked up. So
yeah, that night you was a plus 255 underdog. Did it feel even more special when you won the fight that you was underdog? Everyone doubted you and you came out victorious that night.
Man, the crazy part is, like, them lines are outrageous for one. Like, I have 35 pro fights.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 30 years old. I've been at this for a long time. You know, like, I can catch anybody. And the fact, what's even crazier is I saw that people were getting a plus 1,700 on a first round submission. Like, if I would have saw those odds, I'd have bet my whole purse on it. like that's insane to me. So yeah, it was definitely sweet because of like how highly he was talked about by, you know, especially like Dana and the matchmakers and everybody, you know. And then he's got a whole country behind him because you know how Canada rallies behind their guys. And then you see online everybody doubting me. Everybody's like, oh, this is an easy win for TJ, blah blah blah. And so yeah, it was definitely sweet. I definitely enjoyed cashing in on that underdog spot.
Did you bet on yourself?
Not this one. I did not. So it was definitely, I made my buddies a lot of money, but I definitely laid off that. But if I would have saw that plus 1,700, I probably couldn't help myself.
Yeah. No, do you wish you did?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, of course, you know, in betting, I wish, you know, if I see hockey games at night and I'm like, oh damn, that dude was a huge underdog, and you're like, damn, I wish I'd have bet on it. You know what I mean? But no, it's definitely less pressure that I didn't bet on myself for sure, because then I would have really been searching for that first round submission.
Well, you just fought, and I can imagine you've already thought about when you could get next back in there. Have you got a time frame when you could get back into the octagon?
Man, I'm hoping like right when they get back from Abu Dhabi. I'm hoping like second week in November. So 6 weeks is what I'm hoping. 6-7 weeks. Get camp started here next week and just start rolling off. I'm already back in the gym. I'm already working out. I've never stopped. That's one big thing I've done throughout my career is like, if I fight on Saturday, I'm in the gym by Tuesday or Wednesday on the next week. Yeah. So I'm just, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the moment, but business not done. I want to get at least one more win by the end of the year.
Well, you're coming off a win. Is there any particular name that you would like next?
Man, there's a few guys out there, but nah, just whatever the UFC wants to give me. You know, like I'm down with whatever. You know, I'm not too picky. I'll fight about anybody. So we'll see what they give me. I'm not gonna be picky.
Yeah, the 145-pound division at the moment is absolutely crazy, stacked to bits from top to bottom. You know, you get, with a few wins together, you could get your name involved straight away.
Oh yeah, man, and I think that's what's about to happen, man. Finally got that big thing off the big building off my shoulders, and now I'm ready to open up and rack these wins together.
Lastly, in your professional MMA career, you fought 35 times. What has been the highlight of your career so far?
Saturday night, man, that was probably talk about the highlight of my career. It was Saturday night because everything that I've been through, all the weight cuts from to go to 35 back in the day, everything that I've worked for the last 10 years, 11 years in MMA, and since I was 4 years old wrestling, it all built up to that moment, and that was probably one of the greater moments of my life for sure.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate that, and hopefully we get to see you in the octagon soon.
Yeah, thanks, my man.
Hopefully you're getting the win in your next fight. Now, hope for your brother tomorrow night. I hope he gets the win.
Hell yeah. We're gonna go out there and dominate him with him too. Give him 2 years. Hopefully we'll hit that UFC mark too.
Yeah, I'll be looking out for his name. All I'll look for is Minner. I'm sure I'll find it.
There's a few of us on there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, and hopefully see you back in the octagon soon and get the win.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you.